Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the machines that make our hearts race and our palms sweat. Today, we're talking about something that's got the entire automotive world buzzing like a hive of angry hornets, the 2026 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. Yeah, you heard that right, the Z28 is back from the grave, resurrected as the ultimate track weapon wrapped in that timeless American muscle skin. If you've been mourning the end of the gas-guzzling Camaro era after the 6th gen bowed out in 2024, wipe those tears because Chevrolet just dropped this beast to remind us why V8 Thunder still rules the road. I'm your host, and I've spent the last week glued to every leak, spec sheet, and insider whisper about this thing. Stick around as we break it down from nose to tail, inside out, and zero to hero on the performance front. If you're a gearhead, hit that like button now, because this one's for you. Let's start right up front, where this car hits you like a freight train disguised as a supercar. The nose of the 2026 Camaro Z28 is pure aggression. A snarling maw that's been sculpted by wind tunnel wizards to slice through the air like a hot knife through butter. Picture this, massive, blacked out grille intakes that look like they're gasping for more oxygen to feed that monster under the hood, flanked by razor-sharp LED headlights that narrow into predatory slits. These aren't just lights, they're adaptive matrix beams that adjust on the fly, piercing fog or blinding rivals on the track without a flicker, the hood. It's a bulging, vented masterpiece. Carbon fiber accents running down the center like veins pulsing with power, and those heat extractors aren't for show. They're functional, pulling hot air out to keep the engine bay cool during those endless laps. The whole front fascia sits low and wide, with a massive front splitter made from lightweight composite. Materials that's adjustable for downforce, crank it down for track days to plant the nose like it's glued to the asphalt. Or dial it back for street cruising so you don't scrape every driveway in your neighborhood. It's got that classic Camaro Coke bottle stance, but updated with sharper lines that echo the Corvette's mid-engine sharpness, making it look like it's about to pounce. And the color options? We're talking Summit White with black accents for that stealth vibe, or Raptor Blue that pops like a fireworks show under stadium lights. Up close, the detailing is insane. The Chevy Bodie emblem on the grille is 3D machined, and the Z28 badging is subtle but screams heritage. This front end doesn't just look mean. It's engineered to generate over 200 pounds of downforce at speed, turning what could be a drag into a grip machine. If you're pulling up to a car meet, heads are turning before you even kill the engine. Swinging around to the side profile now. And oh man, this is where the Z28 flexes its track-ready muscles without apology. The lines flow like a river of adrenaline, starting from that aggressive front fender that flares out wide to accommodate. Massive 19-inch forged aluminum wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R. Tires 285/30ths up front, ballooning to 325/30ths rears for that planted feel. These aren't your grandma's alloys. They're lightweight with a dark tint that contrasts against the body, and they're staggered perfectly to hint at the rear-wheel drive purity lurking beneath. The side skirts are deep and sculpted, channeling air under the car to reduce lift and boost stability, while subtle side-exit exhaust tips tease the symphony waiting at the back. The door sills are etched with Z28 script in glowing LED, a nice touch for when you slide in under the cover of night. Roof-wise, it's got a carbon fiber panel option for shedding a few extra pounds, and the greenhouse is raked back dramatically with tinted glass that gives it that mysterious, almost sinister silhouette. From the side, you can see the aero tweaks everywhere vortex generators on the mirrors to cut wind noise and drag, and those massive rear haunches that swell out like they're ready to launch. The wheelbase is stretched just a hair from the standard Camaro for better high-speed composure, but it's still compact enough to thread through city traffic like a scalpel. Stand back, and the proportions scream balance. Long hood, short deck, and hips that could hip-check a Ferrari. It's not just pretty. This side view tells the story of a car that shed hundreds of pounds through strategic aluminum and composites, tipping the scales at around 3,400 pounds, light enough to dance, heavy enough to brawl. If the front is the threat, the side is the promise of what's coming next. Alright, let's flip it around to the rear, because if the front snarls, the back outright roars. The 2026 Z28's tail is a masterclass in functional fury, with a massive rear wing that's adjustable and carbon fiber, of course, mounted high to keep it out of the exhaust blast. This thing generates serious downforce up to 300 pounds at 150 miles per hour without looking like a NASCAR reject. It's sleek, integrated, and folds away for those low-profile cruises. Below it, the diffuser is huge. Blacked-out plastic with integrated strakes that manage airflow like a pro, flanked by quad exhaust tips that are stacked and angled for that classic muscle stance. These aren't just pipes. They're titanium wrapped for heat management and tuned to belt out a flat-plane crank whale that'll wake the neighbors 3 blocks away. The taillights are slim LED strips that wrap around the corners, giving it a modern edge while nodding to the 67 original with their sequential turn signals. Yeah, they blink one by one for that retro flair. The rear bumper is sculpted with deep vents for brake cooling because when you're hauling this much speed, you need rotors that don't turn into bonfires. And the badging? A subtle Z28 script low on the deck lid with the Bodhi embossed in red for that pop. From behind, the wide stance shines, those fat rear tires begging to break loose under full throttle, and the overall shape tapers to a point that's both elegant and brutal. It's the kind of rear that makes you want to rev it just to watch the world vibrate. No wonder early track tests are calling it the best handling Camaro ever. This back end isn't decoration. It's the anchor that keeps you glued through every sweeper. Now, sliding inside, and here's where Chevrolet walks that tightrope between race cockpit and reluctant daily driver. Open the door, lightweight aluminum, by the way, and you're greeted by Recaro sport seats that hug you like a jealous ex. With massive bolsters in Alcantara and red stitching that match the Z28 theme. These thrones are heated and cooled, but don't expect massage functions. This is about holding you in place when the G-forces hit 1.5 lateral. The door panels are minimalist, carbon fiber accents trimming the armrests, and the storage is smart deep pockets for gloves or your track day toolkit. Up front, the dash sweeps low and wide, dominated by a 12-inch digital gauge cluster that's customizable. Switch from street view with speedo and tack to full track mode showing lap times. Boost if you add the optional supercharger kit, and even tire tongue via integrated sensors. Right above it, the 10-inch touchscreen infotainment runs the latest Chevy OS. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. And a killer Bose audio system with 12 speakers that thumps harder than the exhaust on idle. But the real star is the flat-bottom steering wheel, wrapped in thick leather and Alcantara, with paddles for the optional auto and drive mode selectors etched right into the spokes. Visibility? Yeah, its classic pony car rearward is tight thanks to those thick pillars. But a 360-degree camera system with bird's eye view makes parking less of a prayer. The center console is driver-focused, with big aluminum shift knobs for the 6-speed manual short throws, buttery clutch, and a wireless charger tucked away. Material screen quality, soft touch plastics up high, metal accents everywhere, and ambient lighting that shifts from cool blue for night drives to fiery red for that race vibe. Back seat, it's there for show, 2 tiny buckets that fold flat for cargo, but hey, this ain't a family hauler. Overall, the interior feels purposeful, like a cockpit built for conquest rather than comfort, yet with enough tech to keep you connected without distracting from the joy of rowing your own gears. It's immersive, it's intense, and it'll make you feel like a pro the second you buckle up. Buckle up is right. Because performance is where the Z28 earns its crown jewels. And trust me, this thing is a sledgehammer wrapped in silk. Under the hood sits the borrowed heart from the Corvette Z06, a hand-built 5.5-liter flat plane. Crank LT6 V8 that's naturally aspirated for that pure, high-revving howl, pumping out a stratospheric 670 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. Rev it to that 8,600 RPM redline, and it sings like a banshee on steroids, a whale that's more exotic than American Iron has any right to be. Pair it with that 6-speed Tremec manual for the purists, precise. Notchy, with rev-matching standard or opt for the 8-speed dual-clutch auto that snaps shifts faster than you can blink. Acceleration? 0 to 60 in a blistering 3.2 seconds, quarter mile in under 11, and top speed north of 190 if you dare. But this isn't just straight-line brute. It's a corner carver extraordinaire. The chassis is a stiffened aluminum-intensive backbone with magnetic ride, adaptive dampers that rid the road rock-like braille, firming up for apexes and softening for potholes. Brakes are Brembo 6-piston fronts with 15-inch carbon ceramic rotors optional, hauling it down from 100 to 0 in under 100 feet without a hint of fade after repeated hot laps. Handling-wise, it's neutral and communicative, with electric power steering that's weighted just right.